George. I'm about to do a press conference.
Dr. Ford.
I gotta run. Bye.
All right, thank you everybody, and good morning, and welcome to the City of Antioch, one of the greatest cities God ever created. So I'm excited to be here with all of you to announce some changes that we'll be making to our structure as it relates to hiring. And so for those of you who may know, hiring was a large part of our police reform effort earlier last year. And so today we build on that. At this point, we're all familiar with the economic phenomenon called the Great Resignation, where many employees across the U.S. have resigned from their jobs, most notably during the global COVID-19 pandemic. The Great Resignation is impacting various sectors of our economy, resulting in lower productivity, a decline in morale, and the remaining workforce struggling with increased work demands. There are many sectors of our economy that are experiencing the impacts of the Great Resignation, but only hospitality and government are witnessing actual decline in the workforce, meaning workers who are leaving aren't being replaced or replaced fast enough, otherwise known as attrition. 2021 marked the highest rate of state and local government job openings in the past 20 years, which means local governments are understaffed. Law enforcement is the largest group driving workforce losses through local government. A 2021 report by the Police Executive Research Forum rightly notes that nationally there has been a 45% increase in retirements and a 20% increase in resignations compared to previous years. Antioch's law enforcement agency, like most across the nation, is no exception to this staffing crisis. That being said, we now have another layer to this staffing crisis as a result of the DA and FBI investigation of a number of officers here in the city of Antioch. On March 22nd, DA Beckton and the FBI briefed myself and City Manager Con Johnson and made us aware and asked for our cooperation in a court-authorized law enforcement activities that were taking place here in the city of Antioch the following day. During this briefing, I immediately knew this would have a devastating impact on our staffing levels, internal morale, and community confidence as a result of these activities. Currently, the police department has been authorized to hire 115 sworn police officers by the Antioch City Council. However, the police department has 102 sworn officers, with 3 police officer trainees currently attending the police academy, which leaves us at 10 open positions. However, these numbers can be deceiving, as currently the Antioch Police Department has 78 full-duty sworn officers because 24 are unavailable as a result of some form of related injury or administrative leave. 78 full-duty officers are no different than when I moved here 10 years ago when my family and I came from Maryland during the Great Recession. As we near the summer months, there is no question that we have to deal with our attrition problem and the impact of officers who are under investigation. Therefore, I will be immediately advancing a measure that restructures our current police sign-on bonuses. Currently, the department has one incentive for lateral recruits, which is a $10,000 sign-on bonus if you're an experienced officer from a different law enforcement agency throughout the country. And we have nothing for recruits joining the Antioch Police Department directly from the police academy. So given today's reality, this is unacceptable. There's no way we're going to be able to manage the attrition challenges. So I'm proposing the following measures. For lateral recruits, we're proposing a $40,000 structured signing bonus that's paid over a period of 3 years. The first $20,000 tranche comes upon signing with the Antioch Police Department. The second tranche comes at a $10,000 level at the completion of a 1-year probationary period. And the third tranche of $10,000 comes after completing 3 years at the Antioch Police Department. So that's for our lateral hires. For academy recruits, we're also wanting to offer the same incentive of $40,000 broken over a 3-year period. When I announced the first phase of police reform measures here in the City of Antioch a little over a year ago, I said clearly and directly that policing is the community and community is policing. If we truly believe that, we need to do our best to ensure that community policing is not just a nice trendy phrase to say, but that we actually make the investments in ensuring that our police officers have the opportunity to truly be of the community by residing right here in the City of Antioch. Therefore, we will also offer academy graduates a home down payment assistance incentive, where they can have up to $60,000 towards a down payment for a home located here in the City of Antioch. This incentive must be used within 5 years. If not, a lump sum of $30,000 will be paid out at the completion of 5 years. The higher bonus structure proposal is for 12 months upon approval from the City Council. Officers who receive the bonuses must stay at least 3 years, or in some cases 5, with the Antioch Police Department. If you leave before then, they'll have to pay back the bonus. In addition, and directly resulting from this investigation, I'm requesting that we also overhire at the Antioch Police Department by 10 officers, up to 125. These positions will have to be directly tied to any anticipated retirements or resignations or any long-term administrative leave. So with that, that's our proposal, and then I'm going to hand it over to incoming Chief Ford, and then I'll come back and do it in Spanish for my friends in Spanish television.
All right, good morning to the City of Antioch. I'm Dr. Stephen A. Ford, the incoming Chief of Police, and thank you, Mayor Thorpe, for that very nice introduction. So regarding our current department status and forthcoming processes, we're currently at 102 officers sworn with 78 full duty and 24 in a variety of different leave statuses. We have the potential to acquire 125 officers, which is the impetus for our current and robust entry and lateral hiring processes. To reiterate the Mayor's sentiments, I'm very pleased to announce we have a lateral process that is open and active. In the interim, we have 3 police trainees attending the Contra Costa Police Academy who will graduate in July of 2022. At that juncture, we'll have approximately 10 sworn vacancies, as the Mayor mentioned. Our priority is to increase our sworn complement with the sole purpose of maintaining high morale, sustaining public safety, and making certain our officers have the field support and coverage that they need and that they deserve. In seeking lateral officers, we hope to expedite the replenishment of our sworn personnel. These officers will possess existing policing experience and will participate in an expedited 6-week training program, provided they graduated from a post-approved FTO program, are currently employed with a California agency, and have 2 years of experience with a basic post certificate. In seeking lateral officers, that is really where we're going to, I believe, get the most bang for our buck. In theory, officers who already have graduated from a post-approved academy FTO program come with a wealth of experience and can provide quality policing services relatively quickly. With respect to the officer profile we're hoping for, to be specific, we're seeking officers who desire to join a forward-thinking, high-performing policing organization, are team-oriented, and possess a high level of dedication to the profession. That's very critical. With this organization, we emphasize concepts of community policing and procedural justice, rooted in strong community engagement and transparent policing services. This organization will provide officers a high volume of training, the requisite equipment, and personal and professional development, all of which sustains the tools and insight to perform their duties while staying safe and receiving a deep sense of organizational support. Having said that, I emphasize we're looking for men and women from varied backgrounds and experiences who meet these characteristics, and are ready to serve the City of Antioch in a positive and a very meaningful way. And with that, I conclude. Thank you.
And one thing I did want to mention is that we currently 3 trainees that are at the academy. I would ask that council make this so that they would qualify for this incentive as well. Ahora tenemos otra capa de esta crisis de personal como resultó de la investigación de la fiscal general de Contra Costa y el Departamento de Investigaciones del Gobierno Federal, de una gran cantidad de oficiales del Departamento de la Policía de Antioch. El 22 de marzo, la fiscal del distrito, Diana Beckton, y el FBI nos informó a mí y el Con Johnson, el administrador de la ciudad de Antioch, sobre actividades policiales autorizadas por las cortes que llevaron aquí en la ciudad de Antioch el 23 de marzo. Durante esa sesión informativa supe de inmediato que esto tendría un impacto devastador en los niveles de personal, la moral interna y la confianza de la comunidad a la policía de Antioch. Actualmente, el Departamento de Policía tiene autorizados 115 policías por el Consejo Municipal de Antioch. Sin embargo, el Departamento de Policía tiene 102 empleados jurados, con 3 oficiales de la policía formación de actualmente asistan la académica de la policía, lo que nos deja con 10 puestos vacantes. Sin embargo, estos números pueden ser engañados ya que actualmente el Departamento de Policía tiene 78 oficiales de servicio completo porque 24 están disponibles. 68 oficiales de servicio completo no son diferentes de donde estamos hace 10 años cuando yo y mi familia vinimos aquí a la ciudad de Antioch del estado de Maryland. A medida que nos acercamos a los meses del verano, no hay duda que nos tenemos que lidiar con nuestro problema con la crisis que está impactado de los oficiales aquí que están bajo de investigación. Por lo tanto, avancé inmediatamente unas medidas que reestructuran nuestros bonos de contratación policiales actuales. Actualmente el departamento tiene incentivos para laterales, que es un bono de inicio de sesión de $10,000 si es oficial con experiencia de otra agencia. Y no tenemos nada para los reclutas que salen del departamento de policía, de la academia de policía. Dada la realidad actual, esto no puede funcionar en esta manera. La medida propuesta es la seguida. Para reclutas laterales, un bono de firma de $40,000 que se va a quebrar en 3 pagos. El primero será de $20,000 que viene a firmar con un contrato. El segundo de $10,000 llegará terminando un año con el Departamento de Policía. Y el tercer de $10,000 llegará también al fin de cumpliendo 3 años con el Departamento de Policía aquí en la ciudad de Antioch. Para las reclutas de la academia, un bono de firma estructura de $40,000 y va a ser igual como los de los laterales, pero les vamos a dar la oportunidad de también asistirlos para un pago inicial de vivienda de $60,000 y van a tener 5 años para usar ese bono. Si no usan ese bono en 5 años, les pagaremos $30,000 al fin de 5 años completos con la ciudad de Antioch. La propuesta de estructura de bonificación más alta es por 3 meses, por 12 meses. Los oficiales que reciben la bonificación deben de permanecerse a lo menos de 3 años o algunos 5 años en el departamento de policía. Si se van antes de esa fecha, tendrán que devolver el bono. Además, solicitaré una sobrecontracción de policías hasta 125 oficiales aquí en el departamento, porque sabemos que con las investigaciones que están pasando con la fiscal general, vamos a tener muchos oficiales que van a estar fuera del departamento administrativamente. Ok, con eso vamos a cerrar aquí y tomar preguntas. That will end it here, and we'll take any questions. A few questions, because we're on a time frame.
Mayor Thorpe, what have you
Yes.
learned about the FBI investigation, and how many officers at this time with the Antioch Police Department are under investigation?
In my briefing with the DA, myself and City Manager Con Johnson were asked to keep confidentiality, as this was an ongoing investigation. And so everything that I've shared up to this point, that's all I can share.
You can't give a number, like Pittsburgh said 3 officers are on administrative leave tied to the investigation. Are you able to give a number?
I can tell you that I can say that I'm sorry, I was just asked to maintain confidentiality, and I would feel very uncomfortable saying information that I was asked to keep confidential.
Mayor Thorpe, did you share the information that you learned in that meeting with all the other 4 council members, since you're an equal member of the council?
No, because the district attorney said, keep this confidential between myself and the city manager, because they were soliciting our help in the investigation.
How are you helping with that investigation?
I'm not going to get into that. Yes.
You're helping with the investigation, though?
Excuse me.
Hold
Can
on.
you,
Hold on.
It's a follow-up
Excuse
question.
me. I will call on individuals, and when I call on you, you can ask your question. Until
You're not
then,
allowed to follow-up questions.
wait your turn. Let me go on to the next person. I'll allow you your follow-up question.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell us if they're on the streets, or are they all on paid administrative leave? So are they out there on the streets, the officers that have been investigated? Because like she mentioned, Pittsburgh has...
I can say that they're on administrative leave. Yes.
So, if you were asked to help with the investigation, how are you, as a civilian, helping with a investigation by the FBI and the DA?
Let me just clarify something. I was asked to be down there as the mayor of the City of Antioch. And so beyond that, I'm not going to answer how or what.
For another question, the head of the APOA, the Police Officer Association, said there were 5 officers who were on paid leave from the investigation. Prior to that, there were 32 officers on paid leave. Not 32 officers, so excuse me, but we were down to 83 officers who were sworn and active prior to those 5. So you're claiming now that those officers, 28 or so, are on paid leave because of national trends, and they're leaving, but they're sick and injured, is my understanding. And you said that many are not coming back. Is that correct?
Hold on, that's not what I said. That's everything you inferred.
No, I said
excuse
what
me,
the
excuse-
APOA said.
Oh, but the AP, I don't work for the APOA. I don't represent the APOA. The APOA can speak for themselves. What I can tell you is that currently we have 24 people who are on either injury or administrative leave. It's a combination of both. And we're not going to get specific as to who, because we have to protect people's personnel files and their privacy and their confidentiality. So I'm not going to play this game with you, trying to take information from people's personal files and exploit it for the media. I'm not
So
doing
we were
that.
down
We're
to
going
83 officers before the 5 were paid on paid leave, correct?
Again, currently we are at 24 unavailable. Yes, any other questions? Frank?
Can you separate how many are actually on leave and how many are paid administrative leave and how many might be injured, or are you just going to give out the...
No, I'm just going to give out the combination.
I've got another one.
All right, this will be your last question.
My last one, I better pick
The
which
last
I
one
want.
for everybody.
Oh. I guess I would wonder, is the money for the home down payments coming from the general fund or from the police budget already? How's that working?
Well, that's a good question. There could be a multitude of ways we can look at that. Obviously, we have significant salary savings at this point, so we can look at that pot of money. We could look at the general fund, or we can also look at ARPA funding. So again, this is for a 12-month period, and we may find that after 12 months, we may need to do it again, or we're at where we're supposed to be.
One important question
Okay.
about money.
Can I ask one of the chief?
What about-
Thank you very
hold on,
much,
what about keeping
everybody,
the
for your
officers on
time
leave?
and cooperation.
What about money for keeping the officers who are on leave? Anything like that?
I had one more too.